Hey, from our exercise with the flowing shield and all of the following where the pressure takes you from last week, we have found the beginning of a technique, and we want to experiment more with it, but we also want to share it with those who might take it somewhere else. And the idea is that you use the neck of the boss, this part here, just as with the lift and the levering, where we lift from the bottom, this time we pin down from the top. So if Per and I are fencing and we are in this bind situation, then with the sharp point, this is not a sharp sword, but if it was a sharp point, I could push down here and just slightly lower his shield. So even if he's high enough to cover his high openings, as I push down with the sharp point, his shield would lower. And that means that if it was a sharp sword, the technique would work even better, but it still kind of works with the blunt swords. So what I do is I push the bottom of Per's shield, and that means his upper edge is exposed to my boss and the neck of my shield boss. So now when I catch it, let's turn around. So then I catch the edge of Per's shield with the neck of my boss, while I have these 2 points. I have my sword at the bottom of his shield, and the neck of my boss on the top of his shield. And from here I can strike at his shield arm, or I can simply continue the control move by pushing down on his shield edge with my sword and moving in and continuing. Here I push the lower edge, not very deep, but just enough to expose the upper edge, and here and now I take over the control and I push and I continue in. That's it. That's the very small bit that can be evolved into some sort of technique, but for now this is the idea. Det er farligt, det der Per.
Ja, det var alt for højt.
So it turns out you can't really just lift your shield up while you're fencing, because then your legs get really exposed. So it's you obviously need to be controlling the lower part of the shield. Otherwise, it's just too dangerous. So
you don't want it too much.
No.
Then that happens.
That happens. So you always have to just make sure you have a situation sort of like this. So you kind of pin the shield between your sword and your shield, and then you take over the control, and from here you can continue. Or you can strike the shield arm.
Helvede.
Fordi, tror jeg, når du går ind for at lave en kontrol, eller et tryk på dit skjold, så går du for meget ind med kroppen, og så får du dit ben med.
Glemmer at skubbe røven
Og det er super synligt fra min side.
Ja.
Fordi det er faktisk noget af det, jeg kan se af dig. Det er dine ben. Jeg kan se, at du hopper ind.
Ja.
Og så får jeg det bare. We're so fortunate that Kasper has brought a sharp sword today. And that means that we can actually try the pushing down with the sharp point. And obviously, since it's Kasper's sword, he gets to try it. So we'll just try carefully to simulate the same situation, and then Kasper will try to push down on the lower part of my shield, and then the tip should bite more into it. We already did this earlier this evening, but now we're just doing it for the camera as well. So now I can of course pull my shield up, but it's in this instance where he pushes it. Now he has perfect control, and then he can continue. Okay, so if you just without the shield, just put the tip on my shield. So he actually pulls it down. So just if he has his shield on the top here, that means that now my shield can't really tip a lot at the top. And that means it will get pulled down from the force of the tip of the sword. So this means that it will just simply move down, and then he can catch me with the neck. It is important that you push rather in the middle here, because if you push here or here, the shield will tend to flip. So, for instance, if Kasper would push on the side, the shield will tend to flip rather than be pushed down. So it has to be in the middle here, and then it gets pushed down. I am trying to pull it up against the tip, but he can hold it quite easily against me. So I need to disengage if I need to escape from the tip of the sword. So let's just do it again with. So he pushes the lower part, it lowers, he catches me with the boss, and now he continues to control on, yeah, and then he can just, now I'm really in trouble unless I do something to escape, obviously. So in this instance, you can sort of do the digging motion where you gain control with one thing, take over with the other, and then continue in. Okay, put away the sharp. This digging motion, we call it digging for lack of a better term, but it's like if you imagine an animal digging, like a dog or something, that just keeps pawing. That's kind of the image that we're going for. So this means that in this case I'm gaining control with one weapon. Giv mig lidt modstand. So I'm gaining control with one weapon here, and then I take over, and then I take over, and then I continue. And this makes perfect sense if we are not in a confined space as this, where my opponent can attempt to escape going backwards. That means that I continually need to re-establish the control, because he is always attempting to move out of striking range. So this means that, in fact, this technique could be like a motion, like a fluid thing. So in case I am trying to do the control, I'm pushing here, he's moving backwards, I'm following him, and he's still moving back, trying to escape, so I'm still controlling, and then I continue. Because he has gotten himself in trouble by having his shield be lowered. So that was an instance of the digging motion, or the pawing, because I gained control with the shield and took over, and then I could strike when the shield was completely lowered. vist dig selv.
Det tror jeg også. Jeg tror, jeg boksede lidt hver gang.
Pas på at fokusere på, at du aldrig har din hånd foran dit skjold. Det har du rigtig meget, men det finder du ud af, når du ser den her video.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really important. We both got struck on our hands just within these two bouts. And it was both of the situations an instance of us failing to keep our hands behind the shield. So it was just our own damn fault.
Damnness.
Var det skjold bullen, eller hvad?
Det tror jeg.
Ja, fedt.
Det føles sådan i hvert fald lige umiddelbart.
It's kind of hard to see whether you catch the other person's shield edge with your boss, but sometimes it works. And
But you feel it.
yeah.
Og det er godt for ham.
Det var virkelig en, jeg kaster mig frem med hånden og armen forrest.
Vi skulle jo næsten ikke belønne det, jo.
Ja.
For et stik.
Ja.
Husk på ikke at køre op i tempo.
Tilbage med den.
Hvis du vil binde ind over med din arm der, så går det galt. Kan du mærke det? Så her har du rimelig kontrol over det. Hvis du løfter dit skjold for meget, så flotter du dine åbninger. Så ikke løfte højere. Det går galt. Fordi så sker det der for eksempel også.
Ja.
Det er der, hvor man skal huske på, at i det her, der gælder det om at ikke at være helt så fokuseret på, når man kan connecte med sit sværd på mål på modstanderen, men mere om at vinde kontrollen. Så når man har vundet kontrollen, så kan man slå på nogen. Lidt ligesom, altså, eller fuldstændig ligesom med sværdblok. Ja, du skal ikke dække for vores ansigt.
Nej, det var det. Jeg skal lige have den ned.
Tak for i aften.
Tak for i aften.